What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel this evening. It is your Smackdown Go Home show for Survivor Series 2017. It is November 14th, 2017, and I was pretty pleased with what we seen on SmackDown tonight, man. And I'm going to go over everything that happened tonight, including the Raw invasion. Yes, Monday Night Raw finally showed up on SmackDown Live to exact some revenge for the Under Siege that SmackDown did just 4 weeks ago. We're going to go over all that, plus another major change to Survivor Series that I am absolutely happy with. We're going to go over all that as well right here in this review. Follow me on Twitter, guys, at JDFROMNY206. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys are new, I would greatly appreciate it. Today's podcast is being brought to you by Audible. Audible is giving you guys 1 month free of their service, including 1 free audiobook of your choice. And I'm hearing that Jim Ross' new autobiography called Slobber Knocker is indeed a slobber knocker, man. So make sure you guys go and check that out. You guys can get it for free just for listening to the show tonight. All you got to do is go to audibletrial.com/offthescript, and it's a great way to support the show for doing absolutely nothing. You could be laying on your bed getting ready for sleep, listening to JD, and in the morning you guys can sign up and get a free audiobook on the house just for listening to the SmackDown Live review. If you guys don't want anything wrestling related, over 180,000 choices to choose from. And if you guys don't like the service, you can cancel within the 30 days and keep the audiobook for free. That's audibletrial.com/offthescript. YouTube's been broken. What else is fucking new? YouTube's broken. Off the Script Part 3 was seemingly lost in the fucking YouTube universe. So if you guys missed Part 3 of Off the Script, which I enjoyed very much, I thought it was a great video. It is live on the channel right now, along with Parts 2 and Parts 1. 1, 2, and 3 all live on the channel right now. There's even an extra video there talking about Paige and Austin Aries and why he was fired from the WWE. Monday Night Raw review is there as well from last night. And as of this afternoon, WWE 2K18. If you guys want to see me struggle with Mr. 9 to 5 trying to win the fucking Money in the Bank ladder match that WWE 2K game seemingly made fucking impossible, I did it. So make sure you guys go and check that out. We live streamed today on YouTube. It is all live on the channel for you. So if you guys need more entertainment, there's plenty of it waiting for you after this SmackDown review. Let's get right into the review, man. SmackDown Live. I was very happy with tonight's show. I expected certain things to happen tonight. I was hoping for one certain thing to happen tonight. And I got everything that I was anticipating tonight for SmackDown Live. I normally shit all over the product. And I said this last night. I normally shit all over the product. But there's just something that WWE is doing in the last 3 weeks of this Survivor Series build. Yes, I understand the Raw vs. SmackDown feud and the Raw vs. SmackDown rivalry really doesn't exist. There's a lot of gray areas, I understand. I'm trying my best in these months, in these days where it's going to get darker, faster, and a lot colder as we get on into the winter. I'm trying to remain positive. I'm trying to remain excited about certain things that WWE is doing. I commended them on making them, or I commended them on them making the changes for Survivor Series that were necessary. And I honestly feel in my heart of hearts that they made the appropriate changes for Survivor Series in the last 3 weeks, because I honestly feel they were feeling the heat from within their own company. I honestly think Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live were feeling the heat, and I'm going to go over this on Off the Script again, so this is not the first time you guys are going to be hearing this. I honestly think that WWE, for Raw and SmackDown, I honestly think they were feeling the heat from NXT. I think there was so much hype around War Games. And I'm saying this now. I didn't really mention it on a Monday Night Raw review because I wanted to see where they were going. I wanted to see if they actually made the change from Natalya to Charlotte, which they did tonight. I honestly think that WWE made all these changes for Survivor Series and drastically changed the entire fucking card because of all the hype that War Games was getting and the fact that War Games was going to overshadow everything that Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live did at Survivor Series. I honestly and truthfully think that's the reason. And it's very difficult to not think that. WWE has competition within their own company, and I believe that competition is NXT. When they come to a Big Four pay-per-view, and you know that accompanying that show is always going to be a takeover, why doesn't this happen more often? Do you see what competition does to another brand or another promotion? Do you see what competition does? If this is the competition that NXT is giving Raw and SmackDown, imagine another rival company doing that to WWE. If this is what's going to take for WWE to finally snap out of whatever fucking trance they've been in, then I'm all for it. I think this is fantastic. Now, I know this is not going to be an every month thing. This is not going to be in every big four pay-per-view thing. I understand that. But whatever the fuck happened this month, I wish I could see it more often. That's why I wanted to get that out there. I wholeheartedly think that with the hype surrounding NXT, it forced McMahon and to change Survivor Series to at least compete with NXT. Because everybody's looking forward to War Games. That's all everybody was talking about. The fact that NXT is getting War Games. It's very difficult to not think that way. Because there's no other reason why they would change the entire fucking card. Because you know WWE isn't afraid to put on a shitty fucking show. Just look at WrestleMania. Just look at SummerSlam. You know WWE isn't afraid to just go and march to the beat of their own drummer. They usually do what nobody wants to see anyway. Now all of a sudden in November they want to give us the best of the Big Four pay-per-views out of nowhere. Survivor Series has been ruined year after year after year. Survivor Series was the most irrelevant of all the Big Four pay-per-views. Now all of a sudden, WWE in a 3-week span has made it the most anticipated of the Big Four pay-per-views in 2017. I don't think that's just a common thing. I don't think Vince McMahon just woke up one day and said, yeah, you know what? Let me make Survivor Series better than WrestleMania this year. There's a direct influence from NXT. Nobody is going to change my mind on that fact. So whatever happened, it happened. I'm glad that it did. But it's difficult to oversee that fact. Now, the one thing that I do commend them on is giving us a star-studded show. This is a must-see show right now. Survivor Series is a must-see show. Styles and Lesnar. The Bar versus the Usos. Now we got Charlotte versus Alexa. Out of all the matches, I'm hoping that Baron Corbin and The Miz doesn't actually make the main show. I think that's actually going to be pushed down to the pre-show. Because the pre-show is 2 hours. We got the Cruiserweight Championship with Enzo and Kalisto. That's happening on the pre-show. And then the Miz and Baron Corbin match, I'm thinking will be on the pre-show as well. Because that is been the one match that really hasn't been given any exposure, really. They really haven't crossed paths with one another. They really haven't done anything outside of social media. I mean, they had jabs here, and I think The Miz had some jabs at Baron Corbin last night on Monday Night Raw. But it's not a match that really anybody is anticipating, right? I don't think those two are going to have good chemistry at all. So I don't want to see that on the main show. That match is actually going to bring down the overall rating of Survivor Series. So you might as well just put that on the pre-show. And that's what I think is going to happen. But of all the champion versus champion matches, that's the one that is the least intriguing. Then you got the Shield versus the New Day, and you got the Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, Raw and Raw women and men's matches. Raw versus SmackDown women and men's matches. That's going to be fucking great. Both of those matches are shaping up to be really, really good. You got the Asuka storyline in there and how WWE's going to book Asuka. You got that Raw versus SmackDown men's match that has Triple H and Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon and Randy Orton, a bunch of combustible elements in there. We get to see Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon relive their rivalry from years yonder. And we get to see possible Triple H and Shane McMahon showdown, which I didn't mention last night. I'm thinking, fuck, I forgot to mention that on the Monday Night Raw review. We could finally see Shane McMahon and Triple H in the ring together, you know? So it's going to be a must-see evening. And I can't wait to see what WWE does, man. The excitement around Survivor Series right now is unbelievable. It's going to be good for WWE. It's going to be good for the content creators on YouTube. It's going to be good for overall business because this is going to be a big weekend. You got War Games with NXT, and then you got Survivor Series the way it's shaped up now. Can't wait, man. It's going to be an unbelievable weekend for wrestling fans, and I'm excited to see what happens this weekend. SmackDown Live did a very, very, very good job, just like Monday Night Raw did last night, for the go-home show for Survivor Series. I mentioned on Twitter at the close of SmackDown Live tonight that the Raw invasion on SmackDown Live felt a little bit more organic. It felt a little bit more natural. Now, when SmackDown invaded Raw, they had no reason to invade Raw. They just showed up. There's no conflict there. There was no reason for SmackDown to be attacking Monday Night Raw. The only reason was, it's Survivor Series. It's Raw versus SmackDown. This is what happens yearly, so we got to start it somehow. So I think SmackDown got the short end of the stick by getting the one up on Monday Night Raw because, they got bragging rights in the fact that they attacked Monday Night Raw first. But when you think back to what happened, then it kind of felt just out of nowhere, and it felt really rushed, and it felt really forced. It really wasn't natural feeling. It wasn't organic. Now you look at Monday Night Raw tonight and the way things transpired tonight. Shield came out and interrupted the tag team match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Nice little attention to detail there. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were told by Shane McMahon that he feels they have no allegiance. They have no brand loyalty. Attention to detail. What did they do? Did they stick up for SmackDown Live? Did they help the New Day in battling Shield? Fuck no. They got out of Dodge and they ran into the crowd and escaped. They didn't want anything to do with the Shield or Monday Night Raw. They went into business for themselves. Just a little attention to detail there that I'm sure will not be overlooked by Shane McMahon. But the overall feeling when Raw attacked SmackDown tonight, starting with the Shield, it just felt natural. There was a reason for Raw to attack SmackDown because SmackDown got the one up with this Under Siege. Nothing was taped like it was on Monday Night Raw when SmackDown invaded. They taped that entire backstage segment. Everything was just forced. It looked very cheesy with the entire SmackDown Live roster going to different locker rooms and just parading around the backstage area, just looking for people to beat up. Monday Night Raw did that tonight on SmackDown, but they just did the women's locker room. And then Alexa Bliss got a beautiful right hand on Charlotte, knocking her out. And a nice little camera shot of Alexa Bliss just smiling, saying, "Yeah, bitch, I can't wait to get you at Survivor Series." And then the Shield led the charge in the ring. Kurt Angle led out Braun Strowman. He did what he did. The rest of the Raw team that is going to be led by Kurt Angle, minus Triple H, was there. They came running through the crowd. They just beat up Shane McMahon. They left Shane McMahon a message. This is what's going to happen to you at Survivor Series. Kurt Angle did the Olympic Slam, the Angle Slam. Braun Strowman threw Shinsuke Nakamura away like a piece of garbage. Shane McMahon, like an asshole, was throwing phantom punches at Braun Strowman. None of them really did anything. And then he ate a clothesline. Then a triple power bomb and a second triple power bomb, and it was just destruction. I think the best part of it all was the Shield taking Shane McMahon to every corner of the ring and getting all the Monday Night Raw guys to get some cheap shots in on him. Shoving his face in the camera. This is what's going to happen at Survivor Series. Titus O'Neil out there yelling recipes in Shane McMahon's ear. You got Braun Strowman destroying Dolph Ziggler on the outside with Shane McMahon looking on. Sheamus and Cesaro getting some free shots in on Shane McMahon. It was nicely done, and it felt organic. It felt like there was a reason for Raw to be there. So that's why I said I think SmackDown got the Raw end of the deal here by attacking first. But Survivor Series build, after week 1, I didn't really have any hope for Survivor Series. Week 2, week 3, week 4, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, man. I think it's gotten better. I'm not sitting here, praising WWE storytelling. I'm not sitting here telling you that it's the best that WWE has done in a very long time. I'm just telling you that whatever they're doing now, it actually is exciting. And I'm looking forward to something. I haven't said that in God knows how long on the main roster. So the fact that I'm sitting here telling you that means that I'm feeling it. I'm not gonna fucking jump over the moon and tell you this is the greatest thing ever. I think Survivor Series is gonna deliver. There's no way that it can't with the way that they stack this card. It's not the greatest storytelling that WWE can write. Yes, there are some gray areas. Yes, there are some logic gaps, as always. Like, for example, why is Braun Strowman standing next to Roman Reigns and all of a sudden becoming best friends with the Shield? Braun Strowman destroyed Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in back-to-back weeks. He threw Roman Reigns off a fucking loading dock. Roman Reigns almost killed Braun Strowman in an ambulance crash. You got Sheamus and Cesaro out there who just took the titles off the Shield, and they're helping the Shield now beat up Shane McMahon. Obviously, none of that stuff makes sense. But I'm trying to throw that stuff out the window and look past that logic or illogic. They're doing it for the greater good of the brand. Like, why is Finn Balor and Samoa Joe all of a sudden working together? Shit like that. Doesn't make any sense to me. But it is what it is, man. I'm really excited for Survivor Series, and I thought that the beatdown of SmackDown, the raid on SmackDown from Raw tonight was really, really well done. Really organic. It was natural feeling. There was a reason for Raw to be there. And compared to what SmackDown did, man, like I said, I think SmackDown not only got the Raw end of the deal with this Under Siege shit, I think SmackDown's going to get the Raw end of the deal again at Survivor Series when Raw wins the match. They have to. If Kurt Angle doesn't win, Kurt Angle's out of a job. So I think that's going to lead to more tension with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, which is eventually going to lead to Kurt Angle and Triple H at WrestleMania. Now, obviously, somewhere in between that, they're going to have to do Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan, which I mentioned last night, but I think that might take place possibly at the Royal Rumble, maybe at the Elimination Chamber. I don't know. But this is, from what I can tell, leading to Kurt Angle and Triple H at WrestleMania. I don't think that Monday Night Raw is going to lose. I do think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to have a major role in costing SmackDown the match. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Jason Jordan, this is an opportunity for them to use Jason Jordan in a big role at Survivor Series, being that they seemingly just took this opportunity away from him. News on that was Jason Jordan didn't find out that he was being replaced by Triple H until an hour and a half before the show. So imagine being Jason Jordan last night during Monday Night Raw. Come 6:30 before Raw hits the air. Yeah, bro, we're taking you off Survivor Series. You're being replaced by Triple H. So maybe they came to an understanding with him. They're going to give him a different role. Maybe he costs Kurt Angle an elimination at Survivor Series. We don't know. There's a lot of combustible elements in that match, which makes it must-see. Everything right now has gotten a lot of eyes and a lot of ears pointed at Survivor Series. And I can't wait to see what happens, man. So it's going to be a busy weekend. It's going to be a lot of news. It's going to be a lot of news going around. And I'm excited for it, man. First time in a long time that I stated that. But SmackDown Live opened with Daniel Bryan. Who knew Daniel Bryan can be so savage? Talking about AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar at the Survivor Series. In a dream match, Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles warn Brock Lesnar about what awaits him at the Survivor Series.
That's the thing about me and about SmackDown Live, is that we don't stay down. You knock us down and we come right back up and hit you twice as hard. That heart is why Raw is afraid. That's why they added Triple H to their Survivor Series team. And not only are they afraid, but they're also embarrassed. Because the 25th anniversary of Raw is coming up, and SmackDown Live just ransacked Raw. And that's something that I actually didn't agree with, because I know how vindictive Stephanie McMahon can be. And there is a very good chance that tonight, Team Raw will come back and counterattack.
They certainly did.
But we are not afraid, and we will be ready. And that is why I bleed Team Blue, because I am proud of this show. I am proud of our performers, and I am proud of the heart of every single person in the back. And this Sunday at Survivor Series, we are going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that SmackDown Live is a far better show, and we have far better performers than Monday Night Raw.
Could be true. I think it's true.
Now, last night, Paul Heyman gave you 5 reasons why you should order the WWE Network in time for this Sunday's Survivor Series, and I agreed with most of them, except for point F5, where he claimed that AJ Styles would be brutalized, victimized, and conquered by the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. And although Paul Heyman hates to admit it, Brock Lesnar has a tendency to quit. Just like he quit WWE years ago, just like he quit to a half-assed knee bar on a UFC show.
Daniel Bryan getting savage, bro. Listen. When I'm listening to Daniel Bryan talk about Brock Lesnar, the year when Bryan won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 30, man, it was scheduled for that SummerSlam. It was scheduled for Daniel Bryan to go one-on-one against Brock Lesnar. Now, a lot of people have asked me, JD, why were you looking forward to that match? But when we talk about matches with Lesnar and other smaller guys, you haven't really been so receptive, a.k.a. Finn Balor. The reason is, this Brock Lesnar was booked differently than that Brock Lesnar. That Brock Lesnar, at least somewhat, gave you a performance. This Brock Lesnar hasn't done really anything. He just shows up, he collects his paycheck, he suplexes it, and then goes home. He doesn't give a shit. You know? This WWE Universal title run for Brock Lesnar is ultimately just setting him up to give it to Roman Reigns. That's all that is. That Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker. He ran through fucking everybody. He was just an unstoppable monster. He was built up as the biggest fucking threat to anybody in WWE history. There was a difference. Then Daniel Bryan had to give up the title. John Cena got the title. John Cena was destroyed by Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That was supposed to be Daniel Bryan. But we had this match taken away from us. Bryan versus Lesnar. I would have loved Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan was actually built up as the ultimate underdog, and he overcame everything. He was the one to overcome literally everything that WWE threw at him. And he always did. He always came out with his hand raised when the odds were stacked against him. That's what made Daniel Bryan so special. Now, if you put that against Brock Lesnar, that's a true David versus Goliath match. I could see Daniel Bryan doing some yes kicks to Brock Lesnar. I could see him hitting him with the flying knee or the flying headbutt, suicide dives on the outside. I can't see Daniel Bryan picking him up for any suplexes or any of that. Submission specialist, he could take Brock Lesnar down. You know, the matchup that, we were not given is a very intriguing one. If it did happen, what would Daniel Bryan be like in the ring against Brock Lesnar? How would Brock Lesnar react to the speed and the submission style of Daniel Bryan? Would Daniel Bryan be able to get away from the strength and the power of Brock Lesnar? How long would he be able to survive under that type of environment? It was a true David versus Goliath match. And Daniel Bryan always gave you the feeling that he's going to win this match. He always gave you the feeling that I'm going to overcome this shit. I don't give a shit how big you are. There's been nobody since Daniel Bryan to make you feel that way. It's not going to be a Finn Balor. It's not going to be an AJ Styles. It wasn't, a Sami Zayn Wasn't any of these guys that you see nowadays. Because there's never been, and I don't think there will ever be, another Daniel Bryan or someone that the fans just beloved so much like Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan made you believe. That's why I wanted that match, even though it is a mismatch. That's why I wanted that match compared to everything else that we're seeing. The Balors and now the Styles. You know, even AJ Styles hasn't been pushed to the audience to be built like Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was one of a kind. You're never going to find another Daniel Bryan. I'm not going to say the AJ Styles Brock Lesnar match is not going to be a good match. I think AJ can really stand his ground against a Brock Lesnar if Brock Lesnar really wants to make this special. But if we're going to go into this thing expecting, anything else than what we've seen this year, we're fooling ourselves. I honestly think that Jinder Mahal is going to come and fuck over AJ Styles, and that's what's going to lead to a championship match at Clash of the Champions for SmackDown in December. I'm sticking to that prediction. But that's why I just wanted to get that out there. That's why I wanted to see Bryan versus Lesnar so much compared to every other little guy that they got right now against Brock Lesnar. There was only one Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan made you feel a certain way that nobody else has made you feel.
So yes, Brock Lesnar is big and Brock Lesnar is strong, but Brock Lesnar cannot go on and on. He cannot go all night long. He cannot keep up with the phenomenal one. Paul Heyman gave you 5 reasons why you should watch Survivor Series. I'm just gonna give you one. So you can see a 6'3", 285-pound beast mentally beaten, mentally victimized, and mentally conquered for the best in-ring performer of this generation, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles!
What do you think Daniel Bryan's thinking that he's in the ring with AJ Styles? How he wants this match? He wish he was in this match.
I'm not a puppet like Brock Lesnar. And I agree, fatigue makes quitters of us all, Daniel, and it may well have Brock Lesnar quitting this Sunday. But I also agree with Paul Heyman. I am the underdog. But Paul Heyman, this isn't a Rocky movie. This is an AJ Styles production. And I will find a way. At Survivor Series, I will find a way to the last breath in my body. I will find a way to beat Brock Lesnar. And I will prove that SmackDown Live is the A show. That SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built.
It's going to be a good match, man. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that we don't get what we've seen with Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman. AJ Styles is much different. AJ Styles is better than those guys. Not taking anything away from Joe or Strowman, obviously, but I expect the best when AJ Styles is in the ring. And I'm hoping that Brock Lesnar gives the absolute best that he is right now to AJ Styles to give us something special. And after what we've seen this year from Brock Lesnar and the shitty title reign that he's had so far, not really expecting anything much, but I hope that he does give us the best with AJ Styles. So that's the way SmackDown opened up. After that, we had this clown walk by AJ Styles in the back, claiming he is once again going to capture the WWE Championship once Brock Lesnar gets done with him.
After Brock Lesnar rips you apart limb by limb, your loss of Brock Lesnar will mean nothing compared to when I beat you and the modern-day Maharaja once again becomes WWE Champion.
AJ just walked away. AJ just walks away and he bumps his shoulder. Shut up, Jinder. This guy's a fucking failure. Speaking of Jinder, listen to this. Listen to this. WWE is touring India in December. There was supposed to be 2 dates. WWE took away 1 date. Now it's only 1 day that they're touring instead of 2. And they're making the 1 show a super show for Raw and SmackDown. Why are they taking away 1 date in India when all they wanted to do and when all they hyped was building a strong market in India? This guy is not a draw in India. This guy did nothing to enhance their product in the India market. Why was this guy champion for 6 months? I still ask that question now, even though he's not the champion anymore. Why did we have to suffer? Why did you sacrifice the men that you sacrificed for this guy when ultimately it went nowhere? Now you understand why I complained. It doesn't matter what happens over there. You can put an AJ Styles over there and people want to see an AJ Styles. They don't want to see this guy. You think the people over there are fucking stupid? They know better. This guy's not legit. They know where this guy came from. AJ Styles came in with a pedigree and he lived up to that pedigree. Jinder Mahal came in as a loser and all of a sudden he's transformed into something that we know he's not. Stop taking your fans for a fool, WWE. There's a reason why they slashed 1 date from the Indian tour. This guy. He's not a draw. Nobody wants to see him. Some business he was doing. That gives me just a little hope that this guy will not be the WWE champion again. Like I said, and the people that prove me wrong, or the people that want to go against what I say. Yes, I know it's been done. Time and time and time again. But it's an angle that is a heat magnet. It's an angle that will get someone like him and his character over. Give him the United States Championship. Have him reign terror with the United States Championship. I don't care. I don't care. It would fit into his character, and at least it gets him out of the main event. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. It's better than having him be the champion and John Cena take the title off him, the WWE title, because we know John Cena's not going to be around all year. You're going to give John Cena a token 17th title reign? For what? If he's just going to go away again. At least have him beat Jinder Mahal for the United States title. Have him bring some prestige back to that title a little bit. Maybe we get a month or 2 with the US Open Challenge. He gets some new superstars built up in that 2-month span. And then he drops the title to somebody else. That's a better way to go about it than just giving this guy the championship again, which will make people moan and groan, and then give Cena a 17th title reign that's going nowhere. If Cena's staying around, then yeah, he might get the title. But I don't see Cena staying around. Cena's not going to be a staple on SmackDown Live or Raw for the foreseeable future. He's going to come and go as he pleases. Jinder Mahal versus AJ Styles more than likely will be the main event for Clash of Champions. Speaking of the United States Championship, Sin Cara versus Baron Corbin. The winner of this match would go on to fight The Miz at Survivor Series. This wasn't a bad match. I expected a lot worse. In the end, it was decent. Sin Cara sends Baron Corbin to the floor at the close of this match. Sin Cara with a second rope moonsault to the floor. Sin Cara brings it back into the ring, goes up to the top rope for a swanton, but he's forced to land on his feet. And Corbin catches Cara with the end of days. Sin Cara landed on his feet. He rolled through. Baron Corbin, seeing that Sin Cara had his back turned. As soon as Sin Cara turned around, end of days. It was a shitty looking end of days, but it was an end of days nonetheless. Baron Corbin wins. He goes on to fight The Miz at Survivor Series. Like I said in the beginning, I think that match is going to be pushed to the pre-show because that's the one match that I don't think anybody really gives a shit about. And I think that's the one match that's not going to have any flow to it at all. Baron Corbin, still your United States champion. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, as you just heard, got through with AJ Styles, hyping Lesnar versus Styles at Survivor Series. Now Daniel Bryan confronts Shane McMahon, saying that he and Shane have to have a little talk.
Daniel, great to have you back.
Great to be back.
Listen, on behalf of the whole roster, everyone's been talking about it, and specifically for me, I want to say thank you very much for your support.
Of
course, SmackDown Live always has my support. Survivor Series has never been more important.
I totally agree. This Sunday, the most important thing that we have to stress with everybody, and I've been talking to them, is cohesion.
I completely agree. Which is why after Survivor Series on Sunday, you and I need to have a conversation.
Okay. About what?
Cohesion. You never consulted me about the raid. And because of your idea, I went over to Raw to try to make peace and got chokeslammed for my troubles.
Daniel, that is not my...
Shane, I'll see you on Sunday.
So WWE planting seeds, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's going to initiate a heel turn for Shane McMahon or a heel turn for Daniel Bryan. I don't know if Daniel Bryan's walking away from SmackDown Live as the commissioner. Maybe he doesn't want to work with Shane McMahon anymore because of Shane McMahon going into business for himself and thinking that he runs the whole show. Maybe Daniel Bryan feels slighted in the position that he's in. He is the general manager of SmackDown Live, and he really wasn't told any of these plans. He might feel left out. I don't know. But again, WWE making you wonder what's to come even after Survivor Series. We got this whole Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn thing going on with Shane McMahon, and now we have another little thing going on with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. So we don't know what's going on with that. So that's another interesting aspect of Survivor Series. I'll see you on Sunday, says Daniel Bryan. One of the other major changes I was hoping for was for Charlotte Flair to win the Women's Championship from Natalya to go on to Survivor Series as champion and fight Alexa Bliss, because that was the match that is a bigger selling point to me than if it was Alexa Bliss versus Natalya. Now, there were reasons given that I reported on Off the Script this past weekend. Reasons why Charlotte was going to win the Women's Championship tonight on SmackDown Live. Number one, they were in North Carolina. Number two, ESPN just did a 30 for 30 special, which I have not seen yet. I still have to watch that. I got it on DVR. Of Ric Flair for an hour and a half. And WWE wanted to build off the hype of that, featuring Ric Flair, his daughter, Charlotte. So that's another reason why WWE wanted to do that. Number three would be because it makes sense for WWE to continue to make the right changes. All of these matches that were originally planned for Survivor Series were heel versus heel. They had all heel champions in WWE. WWE somehow realized this and made the appropriate changes. The only matches that right now are heel versus heel are The Bar. If you want to consider the Usos, some people are telling me the Usos are soft baby faces. I'm still saying that they're heels. Whether you want to look at it or not, it's heel versus heel. And then you got The Miz versus Baron Corbin. This was also going to be a heel versus heel. Alexa versus Natalya. It's very difficult for the fans to get behind somebody when it's heel versus heel. I don't know how much excitement's going to be into the match. So Charlotte wins the title tonight, and now we get a much more intriguing match. Also, something that I don't think the announcers have mentioned, and I hope that they do at Survivor Series, Charlotte versus Alexa Bliss. These are the only two women on either brand that have held both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. So this in itself, I wouldn't say it's a dream match, but it definitely is a champion versus champion match, and it builds, and it deserves the hype around it. So they made the right decision with Charlotte winning the title. This was a very good match. Brought me back to, years ago when Natalya was in NXT fighting Charlotte down at the Performance Center or at Full Sail University. This was a very good match. They gave these women a lot of time to get in what they needed to do, and they gave you a much better match than they gave you at TLC. I'll tell you that right now. Charlotte went for a moonsault. She jumped on the barricade and tried to do a moonsault. Natty caught her. Natty caught her in a powerbomb position and powerbombed her into the steel ring post. Natty then throws her into the ring and does a sharpshooter in the middle of the ring. It looked like Charlotte was going to tap. Charlotte desperately trying to reach the ropes. Natty pulls her right back into the middle. Crowd going crazy. Charlotte again trying to reach for the ropes, and she makes the ropes. So that was that. She breaks the sharpshooter with the rope break. Referee is checking on Charlotte. Flair breaks the hold, like I said. Natalya is going at it with the referee, arguing with the referee. Natty charges. Flair sends her through the ropes to the floor. Natty comes back And Flair all of a sudden pulls out a major big boot. So she big boots Natty. Natty is laid out in the middle of the ring. Quick to get to the figure 8. And that was it. Natty quickly taps to the figure 8. Charlotte is the new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. After the match, Renee Young, almost immediately, Charlotte couldn't even catch her breath. She even said, listen, let me catch my breath first. Natalya just beat the shit out of me. Chance of you deserve it start breaking out. Charlotte says that, this is all I thought of when I came to SmackDown Live. This is all I wanted was this SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Then she goes on to say, there was a queen on Raw before there was a goddess. Alexa Bliss. Charlotte says that Ric Flair has had troubles over the past few months, and she knows that he's watching at home, just like he does every Tuesday for SmackDown Live. And she knows when she goes to the back, she's going to get a text from him saying that he loves her. Flair says the match was for her dad. Flair's music all of a sudden hits the PA. Ric Flair's music, not Charlotte's music, Ric Flair's music. All of a sudden, Ric Flair comes out, and we get an emotional moment with Ric Flair looking good. He hugs Charlotte on the ramp with the title, and they start crying. Now, I don't know why they would have Charlotte go out there and say what she said, saying that Rick's at home and he's watching SmackDown Live and that she's going to receive a text message on her phone when she gets back to the locker room saying, you know, I love you. You know, you're the greatest of all time, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why she would say that if she knew that he was backstage already. So I am going to say, I'm under the assumption, and I'm taking a guess, that WWE surprised Charlotte, not only by giving her the Women's Championship tonight in Charlotte, North Carolina, but they surprised Charlotte with Ric Flair and an unannounced appearance tonight, just to make the entire thing that much more special. And I'll tell you this, I'd be lying to you, and I don't lie to you guys. I'd be lying if I told you I did not shed at least a few tears, or a few tears didn't roll down my face during that emotional moment when Ric Flair came back to WWE television and hugged his daughter. After everything that Charlotte went through and Rick went through, the fact that he came back looks good. He's going to be at House of Glory on December 16th if you guys are in the New York City area. He was on SmackDown tonight, hugging his daughter after she won the SmackDown Live Women's Championship for the first time. Emotional moment, man. Good television. That was good television. And who fucking would have thought it? An emotional promo helps somebody get over with the fucking fans. I've never heard Charlotte. Yes, I know it's the hometown crowd. I know that had a lot to do with it, but, you know, I never heard Charlotte get a babyface reaction like she did tonight. Pulled it off. Nicely done. Great moment for Charlotte tonight on SmackDown Live. Aaron Rift of NoIQ.com reported that Eric Rowan and Luke Harper were possibly dropping the Bludgeon Brothers act, that WWE had them come out during the European tour as the Wyatt family to Luke Harper's original theme music. But the Bludgeon Brothers are coming to SmackDown Live next week. And you know what? I'm looking forward to it. I think these guys are going to be a beast tag team. If WWE lets them do what they got to do and lets them get over in the way that they need to get over by fucking destroying everything because they carry around big fucking hammers looking like they're about to audition for a fucking Amon Amarth music video coming off the Viking boat, splitting skulls, you know? I'm looking forward to it. Good old Viking metal, huh? Bludgeon Brothers on SmackDown Live next week. Jimmy Uso versus Chad Gable. Sucks that Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin aren't going to be on Survivor Series, but I'll tell you this, man. Never mind Gable and Benjamin, who will be getting another shot at the tag team titles. I'm glad Jey Uso is fucking healthy after last week's scare. I don't think anybody really understands how great the Usos are. They are fucking fantastic. Now, I knew that if they turned them heel, I would like them a lot more than I did babyface. As a babyface team, they were just fucking cringe. They were garbage. I didn't care about anything that they did. I didn't care about anything that they said. When these guys have a microphone in their hands, I drop what I'm doing and I listen to them because they are so smooth. They are so fluid. They are so believable in everything that they say that they're just the best tag team on WWE television right now. People saying, JD, what about the Revival? I'm talking about now. The Revival is not now. I know what the Revival are capable of, but Revival can't be anything when you got fucking Scott Dawson hurt. The Usos right now are the best tag team in WWE. They may be the best tag team in the fucking world, for all I know. So they come out and they mention something, WWE using past references. Wow. Who would have thought? Last year's tag team Survivor Series match came down to the Usos and the Bar. You guys know how great that ended up being. This year, it's the Bar versus the Usos. Now, at least it makes sense. Now, at least I can stray away from, yeah, they just did it for Roman. That's why they took the titles off of Rollins and Ambrose, just to get Roman on the fucking card. But the fact that they referenced what the Usos and the Bar did last Survivor Series, now I'm actually looking forward to the match more than I did last week. I think that's going to be a great match. What those two teams did last year, if they can recreate any part of that, we're in for a treat this year. So at least now the match kind of makes sense. And the match, has a little bit more stability. Instead of it just being a random match where WWE just took the titles off of Ambrose and Rollins to put them on the Bar for no reason. So I'm expecting a very, very good match between the Bar and the Usos, man. Looking forward to that. Gable hit with a super kick coming off a distraction here. Jimmy Uso beats Chad Gable. There was really not much to this match. This is going to be the tag team title feud on SmackDown Live right now until WWE decides to build up the Bludgeon Brothers or Breezango or somebody else that we're not seeing on SmackDown Live right now. They need to start featuring more teams on SmackDown Live. But the Usos and American Alpha 2.0 is going to be the going feud right now for the tag team titles. New Day versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens after everything that we just talked about with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens this weekend and then being kicked off the tour bus or them walking off the tour bus and being sent home from SmackDown's European tour. There they are. There they are in the main event of SmackDown Live. People saying that they're difficult to work with. People saying that they left or they were upset because of creative direction. I wouldn't blame them, but we really don't know the entire story. This really it doesn't even matter what happened in this match because everything that led up to the ending doesn't really factor into anything. Yeah, these guys went at it. Yeah, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were beating the shit out of the New Day, and then all of a sudden the Shields music hits. And then, like I said, attention to detail. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were told by Shane McMahon that they have no brand loyalty. You don't give a shit about Raw or SmackDown. You're just in it for yourself. That's exactly what they did. They walked away. They ran away. They didn't fight for SmackDown. They didn't attack Raw. They didn't throw a punch at the Raw superstars. They just left the arena. They said goodbye. So anything that happened in this match really doesn't mean anything because after the match, Raw destroyed SmackDown Live. And that was the go-home show for SmackDown Live for Survivor Series 2017. This was a very, very good show, man. Very happy with what I seen tonight. Survivor Series is looking good. I'm excited for Survivor Series weekend. TakeOver War Games. Survivor Series on Sunday. Reviews for both shows. Preview and predictions on Off the Script this Friday. It's going to be a big, big, big weekend. And I hope you guys are right here with me. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for notifications. Check out that Audible link, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. We got 2 months left to go in the calendar year. Let's kick some ass with that Audible trial link. And let's get some support through Audible, man. Audible's been a fine sponsor of the podcast all year. Let's show them the power of this channel for the remainder 2 months of the year, man. Thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow for NXT, the go-home show for War Games tomorrow night, man. What's going to happen? I'll talk about it in my review tomorrow. Until then, have a great Wednesday night, or Tuesday night, rather. I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and I'll talk to you all later tomorrow for NXT. Talk to you later.